Good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News. Here's what we have in the bulletin. American Airlines flight veers off runway at Norman Manley International Airport. Residents of Dump in retirement St. James stage protest over alleged gang leader's death. And later in sports, Jamaica defeats Dominican Republic in World Cup qualifier. Thank you for joining us. I'm Shamela Pula and here are the details. An American Airlines flight reportedly veered off the runway while landing at Norman Manley International Airport in Kingston last Thursday. Officials say the flight 850 was scheduled to arrive at 7:32 p.m. but landed almost 2 hours later due to delays at Miami International Airport. The plane experienced a hard landing and veered off the runway upon arrival at NMIA. It's understood the aircraft sustained significant damage to the engine and landing lights. The flight is scheduled to return to Miami following the arrival of a new aircraft. And CEO of the separate group, Richard Pandoe, was a passenger on the flight, says the landing was rough. However, speaking to our news center, Mr. Pandoe praised the pilot for her handling of the situation.
So last night, the flight I was leaving Miami, there's the closer is inclement weather around the area that we're heading towards, so we had to fly around Cuba. So the flight took quite a while. When we got to Jamaica, obviously a lot of weather happening. The flight crew was, exceptional. The pilot, the female pilot, the captain, was very communicative. And, we made several attempts to land and kept attempting to land again. I think they changed the angle which they came in, so we came in from the bull base side as opposed to the other side. But rough landing, but I don't think anyone was hurt. Basically, it took a while to get our bags, so you could see other passengers, etc. But I think it's when you look at the news report this morning, you realize how much. I think it was worse the report that we actually felt that we actually experienced in the process.
Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Dr. Kassan Troop, is expressing concern that some teachers are not keeping up with the latest developments and resources in the education sector. Dr. Troop made the remarks at a Trend Teachers Engagement session on Thursday. Carrie-Ann Simpson reports.
According to the Ministry of Education, of the approximate 25,000 teachers in the education system, only a few access some of the resources in the Ministry of Education. Permanent Secretary Dr. Kassan Troop describes it disheartening as the ministry, she says, has been working to ensure the resources are available for teachers to access.
We went into partnership with Learning Hub and we buy licenses for all grade 4 students. 40,000 licenses, and we send them out to you every year. And teachers never cry. I am not getting value for money. You don't even open the license. And you don't know, don't it? Because you don't see the bulletins, don't it? We gave every single one of you an email address. And we send all the teacher-related bulletins to you.
Dr. Troop says the ministry is able to track the teachers' engagement through email activation and response rates. But the issue is not just teachers in the primary schools. The problem is also similar at the secondary level.
We see when you respond. My high school teachers, we bought books. Over 40,000 licenses for English language, mathematics, so you don't have to take the heavy book to school and into the classroom. You put it on your laptop and you don't access the books. I have to pay. We have to pay. And we cannot get back the money. We are not starting from a place of lack.
Dr. Troop is urging teachers to trend with her in embracing new approaches, resources, and technologies in order to improve literacy and numeracy rates.
The target for this year for literacy is 68%, and for numeracy it is 64%. So we're going to celebrate that in a couple of weeks from now. Please pray with me. We're awaiting the results. And next year, because we have to talk about next year, we're moving that to 72% for literacy. And we know the numeracy is a little technical, so we're going to move that to 64.5.
Carrie-Ann Simpson, TVJ News.
Residents of Dump in retirement St. James took to the street Thursday to protest against the death of a man in their community. The man who is an alleged gang leader was fatally shot by the police Wednesday night.
Blocked road, burning tires, and a massive blaze was seen on Thursday in the Dump retirement community in St. James. This comes hours after the St. James police say Akeem Bowen, otherwise called Rizla, a reputed leader of the Dump factor of the 13th Street Gang, was gunned down during a targeted operation in the area. The police say Bowen was before the court answering to a charge of illegal possession of a prohibited weapon. The police say he was heavily involved in lottery scamming and is known to have an arsenal of illicit weapons under his control. Commanding officer for the division, Superintendent Aaron Samuels, says Bowen was featured in several murders and shootings across St. James and neighboring parishes. Superintendent Samuels explained the sequence of events that led to Bowen's demise.
Members of the team did a search warrant, went to execute the warrant. Upon approaching the premises, they were greeted with gunfire. They took evasive action and fired back at the suspect. When they were able to breach and go inside, they found the suspect clutching firearm and suffering from what appears to be gunshot wounds on his upper body. He was rushed to the Corridor Hospital where he died.
But according to councillor for the Granville division, under which the community falls, Michael Troop, Bowen was brutally killed by the lawmen without a good cause.
What I understand is that the police came in last night. One police came up and asked the man when they sent him in a yard. And in 15 minutes after that, somebody connects Jeep come and murdered the man.
One resident also argued that Bowen did not have a weapon on him.
He's supposed to report to them. And then he report, then send him in the yard, in the yard, and then he go kill him. You believe you would have gun on him, he shoot out, if then tell him, sir, if he can report to police, he wouldn't do that. There's no way more have no gun on him. Because I know so them come check. Wrongfully then kill you. So that not right. So in the come investigate.
Meanwhile, Superintendent Samuel says the roadblock was cleared on Thursday. He is pleading with residents not to push the authorities to use force as it works to contain the situation. Kerry-Ann Simpson, TVJ News.
Meanwhile, counsel for the Granville division in St. James, Michael Troop, is calling on the police to reassess its approach when dealing with citizens.
It's the same way the government is planning to get rid of crime and violence in the wrong way. You can't be murdering people them like that. Because the gentleman only could get to them, just come and murder them like that. And just drive them like a dog and can't go jumping on Jeep. I'm really upset, man. Really upset. That's it.
Some 59 people have been shot and killed by security forces since the start of the year. 4 of those fatalities happened this month alone. Despite crime and violence plaguing parts of Jamaica, National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang remains optimistic about the country's development. Speaking at a function in Montego Bay, St. James on Thursday, Dr. Chang says strategic investments not only attract investors but also provide high rates of return. Dr. Chang says small countries like Jamaica can achieve great things, but he says this can only happen with the investment.
You'll release your profits. We don't apologize for that. We will get our take. We have a good, efficient tax collection system, and we think a fair one. Our government has removed a lot of what we call dysfunctional tax, small tax that damage small business, asset tax and so forth. But we have a reasonable tax system and efficient system, and we will use that to do the public investment reward. Our capital investment have grown since we have been elected, something that sometimes our own people don't take recognition of.
And Dr. Chang says they are planned to tap into knowledge process outsourcing in an effort to partner with India. Dr. Chang, however, admits that Jamaica's education system does not produce enough engineers annually to fill that gap. He says that is about to change with the introduction of the STEM program on a broader scale.
6 STEM schools, population of 2,500 each. We are strengthening the work of HART, which is now into basic robotics and technology activity to provide people who have the technical skills to operate even before we get to the creators.
This is the basis of India development, which has led to writing its own software, among other things. Dr. Chang says a collaboration would create something unique. It is why he welcomes a partnership.
We know that you have highly creative skills. I think if we combine that with Jamaica, we'll create a product that will be unique and world beater in every way. But most critically, India has a facility to, as you advance, to combine all aspects of development because of your size. So you are doing digital transformation, you're doing educational expansion, you're providing great services, but you also have great industries. Jamaica cannot go in that heavy industry phase. We accept that. So the engineers are referring that engineers to build motor cars and trains and airplanes. We have to get engineers to this, to software, manage computer, hardware, etc. Because we're a small economy and we have to go for the knowledge services.
It's time for a break. Stay with us. More stories when we return. Welcome back to the Midday News. The Second Chance Smile initiative by the Ministry of Health was launched in Manchester on Thursday. 10,000 Jamaicans are set to benefit from this oral health and dentures replacement program. Acting dental surgeon for the parish of Manchester, Dr. Tiffany Reid, says a number of persons in the parish are suffering from dental issues which they need to get checked.
Health issues, just the general increase of bacteria within the mouth that decay can help to proliferate, and that can, in an immunocompromised person, cause a spread of infection. Or a simple toothache can move to endocarditis, can move to the infection of the brain, as we have had extreme cases that patients have died because of a tooth infection that has been.
We go to a break. More stories when we return. It's now time for the Business Minute.
Fuel company, Future Energy Source Company, FESCO, made a profit of just over 515 million Jamaican dollars for the year ended March 2024. That's a decline compared to the $571 million made in the similar period ended March 2023. FESCO says this was largely due to increased interest expenses, depreciation and advertising. However, the company's revenues rose by 2.5 billion Jamaican dollars, amounting to $28 billion for the year. FESCO says a major contributor to the increase was the higher cost of fuel. Good Earth Lighting is recalling 1.2 million lights after death and multiple fires. The U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission posted the announcement Thursday. The company's rechargeable integrated lights can overheat. According to Good Earth, one person died and another was treated for smoke inhalation when the product caused a fire in their home last year. The company said it is aware of 9 additional reports of lights overheating. 6 caused fires and property damage. And that's it for the Business Minute. I'm Hal Shane Burke.
Time now for the top regional and international stories.
In the region, 3 persons who were involved in the attempted smuggling of gold via an American Airlines flight departing from the Jamaican International Airport in Guyana were charged Thursday. The 3 individuals were held with approximately 240 ounces of gold disguised as a silver-plated jewelry that was being transported out of the country without the necessary permits and declaration to customs officials. The gold was valued at more than $560,000. And on the international scene, police in Texas arrested 7 people in an alleged human smuggling operation. Authorities found 26 immigrants on a rural property in Bexar County. 11 of them were hospitalized for heat-related and other non-life-threatening injuries. The discovery came after a neighbor tipped off police about suspicious activity. Authorities believe the smugglers were taking the immigrants from the Laredo area to Bexar County, where they were held in a structure described as a shack. It's not clear what countries all the immigrants came from. One of them indicated that they were from Guatemala and paid $16,000 to get to the U.S. And those were the top regional and international stories. I'm Nakinski Robinson.
We head to a quick break. When we come back, we'll have your midday sports reports with Jeremy Brown.